What's going on, Jets fans? We got some breaking news for you guys as it is official. Garrett Wilson was extended by this New York Jets front office. Apologies for no video yesterday. I was feeling a little bit under the weather, but we do want to break down that contract and give you guys my thoughts, and then also talk about Sauce Gardner. Could he be next up in terms of getting a contract extension from the Jets? But it was Schefter who broke the news yesterday at 4:28 p.m., saying ESPN sources, Jets and wide receiver Garrett Wilson reached agreement on a 4-year, $130 million contract extension that includes $90 million guaranteed. Then he also followed up by saying it marks the first time in NFL history that a receiver has received an average over $31 million after playing only 3 seasons. Wilson now will be under contract the next 6 seasons through 2030. And his agents negotiated that deal. Now, everybody's freaking out about how much they're paying Garrett Wilson. I'll give you guys my thoughts on that and explain to you guys why this is not an overpay whatsoever. But I did think it was funny. The New York Jets on Twitter X, they brought up the SpongeBob meme for this one. It would have been cooler if they got Sauce and Garrett done and then they dropped this meme, but I'm sure they're feeling good about themselves, getting the good vibes going. So I thought that was pretty funny there. But also Garrett, he said this actually earlier on today, saying, "Yup, Jets green has been running through me since the day they drafted me. Despite the ups and downs, the faith is mutual. That means the world to me. Excited to start a new version of the chase next week." Now, I actually saw a report yesterday, and I don't know how true this is, but it was this one Jets insider suggesting that he was shocked that Garrett Wilson didn't request a trade this offseason, considering how it ended last year with Aaron Rodgers, and then he was saying he was even more shocked he got a contract extension. I think that was kind of the Aaron Glenn impact where, yeah, if the Jets would have brought back Aaron Rodgers, I'm sure Garrett Wilson might have considered that, or at least that would have been in his cards. But you get rid of Rodgers, you get Aaron Glenn in the building, you got this whole new feel around the New York Jets. Doesn't shock me that Garrett Wilson and, hopefully Sauce Gardner are going to be here for the foreseeable future. But let's show him some love down below in the comment section. Got his first massive payday, that $13 million signing bonus. I wonder what Garrett's going to buy first. But if you guys want to show him some love, type those 5s down below in the comment section. One of the most underrated receivers in the league. Very happy he got his well-deserved money. So type his jersey number down below. Now, the biggest shocker from this contract extension to me was some Jets fans on Twitter specifically freaking out saying Garrett Wilson got overpaid. So the question is, did the New York Jets overpay Garrett Wilson? Short answer to this, absolutely freaking not. I saw some people saying that, I thought Garrett Wilson was going to get around $25, $26 million per year. That was never going to happen. And I will give ourselves some credit here on the show. Me and producer Dylan, we kind of assumed it was going to be around that $32 million per year range. DK Metcalf, A.J. Brown money, and he slots in right in between those two guys, getting $32.5 million per year. But honestly, if I was Garrett Wilson, I'm shocked he didn't push for $33.5 million. Just to get ahead of DK Metcalf. But you look at the highest paid wide receivers in the league, like obviously Chase is in a league of his own with getting $40 million per year. But then you got Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb. Obviously Garrett Wilson wasn't getting more than that. And then you could make an argument he should be the 4th highest paid wide receiver in the league as it stands right now. But I don't think this is an overpay whatsoever. We expected him to want more than A.J. Brown. Now, is he a better receiver than A.J. Brown? I would personally, as it stands right now, rather have AJ. But again, they're on the same tier of wide receiver. They can both be high-end, wide receiver ones. And, you may be saying, well, what has Garrett Wilson done to, earn that type of paycheck? Well, the consistency he has had having shaky quarterback play, I think, is special. And also, I think the new regime has faith in just not only just the player that Garrett Wilson is, but the person. Like, he's got a great mindset. He was showing up to all these off-season workouts, all these off-season practices. And clearly he has a want to be there for the New York Jets. And, I think the new regime is looking at a guy like him where it's like, that is our offense. He is probably one of the most well-known players on this team, him, Sauce, or Quinnen Williams. Like, you got to get this done because also if you would have just let him walk, what would we be saying about this Jets wide receiver room? Or if you let him play out this year, he hits free agency, he would probably go get $36, $37 million from another team. And, over the last 3 seasons with shaky quarterback play, it's been special stuff. Over 1,000 yards each of the last 3 seasons. He has had some of the most ridiculous catches in the NFL. And I think that's also what the Jets are banking on is because you see some high-end flashes with him where it's like, is he on the level of a CeeDee Lamb, a Justin Jefferson, a Jamar Chase? I think that, jury is still out on that. But I just think Garrett Wilson's role in the passing game this season may be worth more than what he is getting paid on this next contract. Because, we have talked about Garrett Wilson being a fantasy football sleeper. He is going to get majority of that target share in the passing game. But legitimately, if you just removed Garrett Wilson from this wide receiver room, you have one of the worst in the National Football League, probably the worst in the National Football League. And, you can't really say that about guys like, CeeDee Lamb, Jefferson, Jamar Chase, because if you move off Chase with that Bengals room, still got T. Higgins, Cowboys with CeeDee Lamb, you still got George Pickens, and the Vikings with Justin Jefferson, you still got Jordan Addison. So just his value in that receiving room is massive. And even a guy like Brandon Ayuk, who got $30 million per year, Ayuk's probably the third most important player when he signed that contract in that Niners offense. But Garrett Wilson for the Jets offense, I think he is by far, obviously outside of Justin Fields, the quarterback, the most important player on that team, at least on that side of the ball. So I have no issues with how much he got. I was just honestly shocked that people overreacting, saying he got overpaid. So maybe you guys disagree with me. Please be honest. I honestly think it's kind of ludicrous if you do. But did the Jets overpay Garrett Wilson? Give me a Y for yes. Give me an N for no. Be honest with me down below in the comments section. Now we'll talk about Sauce Gardner here in just a second, but we got a brand new deal going on for you guys. If you guys head to chatsports.com/Jets hoodies, we will get you guys a sweet hoodie. It's on sale right now. It's a nice little cut-off sweatshirt. So if you guys want to get some more Jets merch in your life, sweet deal going on right now. So hit that link. It'll be in the comment section and description of today's show if you guys want to get some more Jets merch for yourself this summer. All right, let's talk about Sauce Gardner here. And if he's going to get that contract extension with the New York Jets. Honestly, I think this is a classic example of when, not if, he is going to get this extension. And it was actually Slick Ricky Scoops over there on X. The People's Insider is what they call him. If you guys don't know this guy, he has had a ton of contract scoops before even, the Schefters, the Peliceros have got him. And he said, busy day at Ricky Incorporated. Sauce Gardner is expected to become the highest paid cornerback as the Jets are pushing to get an extension done during training camp. And, the one thing I was wrong about when it comes to Sauce and Garrett and their contract extensions, I thought this was going to be a report that it came out at like the same time because obviously these guys are, really good friends. They have a great relationship. I thought maybe they're going to try the, time it up together where it's like, oh, Jets fans are going crazy. Both these come out at the same time. They're, Sauce becomes the highest paid corner. Garrett Wilson's getting his $32.5 million. So I was wrong on that because if you guys remember T. Higgins, Jamar Chase with all those, all that drama around the Bengals, Jordan Schultz reported those at the same exact time. So I was wrong there. But in terms of how much Sauce is going to get paid, I'm anticipating he gets more than Stingley and becomes the highest paid corner in the league. Now Stingley signed a 3-year, $90 million deal. He had $89 million of this guaranteed. So honestly, I think that may be the holdup. Is maybe the Jets are offering, Sauce maybe 3 for $95, but only like 75 of it's guaranteed, and he's pushing to get more of that guaranteed money. Also helps out the signing bonus, which is obviously huge for these guys. But I'm anticipating he'll get more than Stingley, and whether you agree with that or not, like there's an argument to make that when Sauce Gardner is playing his best football, he's one of the best corners that the NFL has seen over the last decade. And you flash back to his 2022 and 2023 seasons. He was unreal, especially his rookie year, man. Getting targeted 73 times, only allowing 361 yards, having 14 PBUs. Then he followed it up in his sophomore campaign with another All-Pro year, targeted 51 times, only allowing 251 yards with 10 pass breakups. Now, this past season, obviously not his best. I felt like he kind of checked out during the second half of the year, wasn't the best tackler. But with Aaron Glenn, Steve Wilkes, and this new regime, I fully anticipate Sauce to get back to who he was when he was a back-to-back All-Pro in his freshman and sophomore years in the NFL. And, also with some people saying, like, oh, we shouldn't be overpaying for these guys. Like, what have they done? They haven't won any playoff games, yada, yada, yada. I think it's as simple as this. With the Jets still having a question mark at the quarterback position, even though I love Justin Fields and just the potential that he could have with this team, Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson are the faces of the franchise. Like, those are the jerseys we see in MetLife Stadium every single week. We see the 1, we see the 5. Those two guys are like the marketing team, the PR team. They're going to get their faces everywhere. So I really don't have a problem with the Jets, And honestly, like for other people reacting to the overpay, like, so if Garrett Wilson was making $30 million per year instead of 32.5, you would be okay with it? Like, I just think that's a little silly. But, hey, if you guys want the Jets to extend Sauce Gardner, hit me with a me down below in the comment section. I'm anticipating this will get done right before training camp. I don't think they're going to let this drag out. So if you guys want the Jets to extend Sauce, give me a me down below. We'll see you guys next time. As always, go Jets.